Alright guys, there's a more comprehensive link down in the description. Make sure you're still checking that out to support the Black Lives Matter movement, and check out my Twitter and Tumblr to support other movements and sign other petitions. We have been protesting for Black Lives Matter since May. We are still going. It has not stopped, despite what the media is trying to kind of cover up and tell you, and there's a lot of other stuff going on, so make sure you're still checking those out. Hello Friendzies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little more fun and probably kind of silly because if you have watched any of Plumbella's videos, she has said this a million times before and she'll always say it better than I will, but I want to talk about how The Sims 2 has more personality than any other Sims game in the franchise. Now the reason this comes up is because like pretty much everybody that was born in the mid to late 90s in this world, I played The Sims 2 for a very good chunk of my life, and I have been playing a lot of Sims 4 recently. I have a whole little family. I do like little Let's Plays in my head because I don't know how to set it up so that I can capture the game footage and everything. So I do little Let's Plays in my head, and as much as I love the family and as much as I love certain aspects of The Sims 4, it's never gonna be The Sims 2, and The Sims 4 is so boring in comparison, and all I ever do is think about The Sims 2. I made a whole video kind of talking about stories that people used to make for The Sims 2. I'll put the card up there so you can go check that out. But I want to talk about how much more personality The Sims 2 has than any game. Again, I said this in one video, and I might have said it in a different one as well, but I played The Sims 2 for a very long time, and I was in, like, a whole... Like, it was, I don't even remember what the website was. It was like a forum website, but it was one that like somebody had made and then invited us all to. I'm still friends with a lot of the people that like were in that chat room, like Justin, and I never say your name right, Thaze. I'm so sorry if you're watching this and I'm saying your name wrong. And there was this one person named Cass, and I will never forget them. That we were all just like best friends, and we would make each other like, we would make our sim selves, and then like one of us would do a legacy challenge and have and the other people would like have a crush on a certain sim. We'd be like, let me marry that person. I remember with Kaz, it was Baron. I was in love with Baron so much, and he ended up not being the heir, so I got to marry him, and we had the cutest kids, and then I downloaded him for my game, and he was wicked cute. But anyway, so The Sims 2, if you have played it, if you haven't and you are only a Sims 4 baby, let me tell you about The Sims 2. The Sims 2 had kind of like pre-made stories set for each world that it gave you. But obviously because it's Sims and the way The Sims is played, you could kind of do whatever you wanted with it. But that's one of the things I really liked about it, was they kind of gave you this like storyline that you could choose to follow or not. And I feel The Sims 4 has like family descriptions, but I feel like just the way The Sims 4 game mechanics are, there's not... I feel like you're not as driven to, like, want to maybe follow those storylines, because they don't really get you. The hooks don't get you. So that already is, like, a big thing, because, like, especially in the case of, like, Olive Spectre, actually all of Strangetown, just the way Strangetown is structured. Olive Spectre especially, because, like, it gives you the little family description and like the little background story and like the pictures that used to come with the game, but her house also played a big part in it, like talking about how people mysteriously go disappearing, and you know how Olive's been remarried several times, and then you go to her house and there are gravestones in her yard and there's no explanation for it other than that. And you like... I'm not going to articulate any of this well. I just get really excited because I miss The Sims 2 so much. It was other little things, like, because, like, The Sims 4, when they cook, whatever, they do the cute thing where they like to spin the bowl, and they sometimes will, like, accidentally hurt their finger with the knife because you see, like, the chopping animation. But The Sims 2 was just, I feel cuter, because they'd open a drawer, pull out the utensil they need, and then close it with their hip, and then sit there and kind of like hold the bowl. I feel like the toddlers were a lot more fun in Sims 2. I don't remember all of the... Oh yes, I do remember, because it was the rabbit, and it was a rabbit head, and they'd pull the ear, and the rabbit would make sounds. It was the block thing, and it was... the little, is it a xylophone? The thing where you, like, smack the metal and it makes sounds with the little mallet? And your Sims could play with the toddlers. I'm pretty sure everybody, like kids and up, could do it. Your Sims could play with the toddlers, and that was a really good way for them to bond. And that's like super realistic, I feel like. I don't remember. Yeah, you can play. I haven't had toddlers in Sims 4 for a bit. I don't know. I feel like Sims 4 did not have as much interaction. They definitely didn't have as much love for toddlers because they weren't even included in the game originally. And the Sims 2 definitely had toddlers included in the original game. Your Sims would get like acne and stuff, which was cute as hell. I mean, my Sims never got acne, but it was like if you had really poor hygiene. I play with sheets, so I never have to take care of Sims needs because I think it's annoying. I have not taken care of a Sims need in like 13 years. That sounds right. But if like your Sims had poor hygiene, like teenagers, or like if you were trying to like skill people up and it was a teen, they would get bad acne, and they would go in the mirror and do like little like an animation where they were like it's so, because it's cute and it's very like realistic to how teens are. I loved the animation for when like two Sims would make out on a couch and they would like throw each other onto the couch and like grab each other's butts, because that's cute. It's so cute. And the cinematic like things that would happen for special things, like the first kiss, it would like go into like a movie screen kind of, and it would do like different camera angles. When babies were born, I don't know why I started counting on my pinky. When babies were born, the first kisses, when people got married, it was so pretty. Instead of trying to like get the camera at a perfect angle, it would just do it for you, unless you put the altar in a weird spot, because sometimes you'd get just a picture of a wall. When Sims would age up, when Sims died, if you did like a really good job with your Sims life when they died, the Grim Reaper would come with like two little hula girls, and they'd sit and do this, and the Grim Reaper would have like the lei around his neck, and he'd offer you a drink, and the Sim would like get a lei, take the drink, and take the little suitcase, and the Grim Reaper would pretty much do this, and the Sim would like go with them. And then if your Sim, I don't remember if it was your Sim was just like okay, or if your Sim was like doing really bad, like if they were in the red for like their lifetime happiness, the Grim Reaper would come and hold like a, what is it called? Not a sundial. Oh my god, what is it called? An hourglass. Oh goodness. He would hold an hourglass and your Sim would try to like turn it over, and the Grim Reaper would like rip it out of their hand and be like, no, go. Oh my god, I miss it so much. If anybody knows a way to like get Sims 2 running on, I don't know if it's Windows 7 or Windows 8, because I could either use my laptop or we could use the desktop computer that we haven't used in years. I think that desktop has Windows 7. If anybody knows how to get it running on either one, please let me know. Leave a link, like reach out to me on any of my social medias, because I want to play Sims 2 so badly. I had every single expansion pack except for H&M. And then I think I got H&M, and then my laptop like got updated and the game was running so garbage. And I am one of those people that if it's like, if the frames per second are not as good as like other things that go on my laptop, I get very frustrated because I'm very used to things going quickly. And Sims 2 didn't have Bonehilda, but you know what they did have? They had Bigfoot, and they had the Tiki Man, and they had the old man that lived, was it a pagoda? Is that what it's called? I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese. It must be Japanese, because the same thing was in Pokemon. The very tall buildings that the roofs are like this on the sides of it. It was the old man there. It was the... Yeah, it was the Tiki Man, because when you would go on vacations in Bon Voyage, you could dig up like a treasure map and it would take you to these different places, and Bigfoot had like a little hut and you could befriend him and you could take him home. I had a Bigfoot in one of my games and I took him home, and he was part of my family, and he took care of my child and was a doctor. And when he would go to work, it was still Bigfoot. He didn't have any pants on, but he had like a lab coat, and he had the little band with the thingy on it. But like, is it a light? I think it's a light. The Tiki Man wore like the little mask, and he was just like a lazy piece of shit and would just lay there while you like fixed up all the stuff in his house. And if you did all of that without dying, you needed a good handiness skill, he would give you the voodoo doll, which was super fun. And I feel like in Sims 2 you could do more with the voodoo doll than you've been able to do in like the more recent games, because I don't remember Sims 3. I don't remember if I ever had it in Sims 3. I think I had it and then I would just like put it in a display case, because I don't think I could figure out how to work it in Sims 3. In Sims 4, I feel like it hardly ever works. Like, I have one right now, and every time I try to use it, it, like, doesn't do anything. So, And then the cute old man in the pagoda, he would tell you, you would sit down and he would tell you a story and it would like show up above his head. What did he give you after the story? Because you would listen to the story and then something else would happen. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that was wicked cool. The NCPs in Sims 2 overall, other than not having Bonehilda, are honestly just top tier. Like if you were, was it a knowledge sim? Which sim was it that like if you freaked out and had a breakdown because your like lifetime happiness was in the red, you would get a doctor and the doctor would jump down and have like, it was a big thing on a stick and it would spin and had like a little spiral and your sim would be on the floor like going, like having a mental breakdown, and he would like pick you up and your sim was all slouched over and he'd hold it in front of their face and do this while the other spiral was spinning and your sim's face would be like attached to it. There was the social bunny who I miss so much. I miss the social bunny, and the best thing about the social bunny is it was never like a bunny costume and like was like a happy bunny like it wasn't like the flower bunny in The Sims 4. It was always missing an eye, and it was always like dirty and had like muck and grime on it, and it always like, it reminds me kind of Zipper T Bunny from Animal Crossing, but like personality wise, not looks wise. If you were a family sim and you had like a mental breakdown, you would a flour sack would fall and it would have like a paper plate on it and it would be like a baby and your sim would like rock it and try to talk to it. I don't remember. Oh, if you were a fortune sim and you went crazy, you oh, you had the sign. You had a sign with like a simoleon on it in a little cup, and your sim, like no matter what, even if your sim like was a fortune sim, had like you used cheats, you had all the money in the world, if your lifetime happiness like was in the red, your sim would go outside and like beg on the side of the street. Romance, you would get a mop with a little paper plate face and your sim would dance with the mop and kiss it. Was the tragic clown still a thing in The Sims 2? I know it was in fact a thing in The Sims 1. I know it had the picture and you would buy it, and if you cried to the tragic clown enough, it would like come out and haunt you. Going off the tragic clown thing, I want to talk about too how The Sims 2 items just had a great description. I feel like the things in The Sims 4 are just like, yep, it's a bed, it's comfortable. Or like, some of them talk about Princess Cordelia, and there's that one skeleton doll thing that talks about, it's like the Katrina doll, and it's like a vague like Easter egg to Bonehilda, but again, it's like vague. It's not Bonehilda. Justice for Bonehilda. I'm part of the Plumbella crusade for justice for Bonehilda because in Sims 3 I had her all the time in every single house. There was one family I had that had like 7 generations before my game crapped out, and I had Bonehilda. Anyway, The Sims 2, I feel like the item descriptions were just so much more, they had more fun with them. When you would go into build and buy and you would click on an item, it was only certain items, but I feel like it was a bigger range of items that had like fun kind of things to say. They'd still be like, oh yeah, this is a bed, you know, this is the comfort level. But certain paintings, certain like, I feel like certain special objects that you could only get from like careers and stuff, it wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, this is from the scientist career. It'd be like, this is from the scientist career, because at this point, Cirque from Strangetown like did this and this, and now it's like a big controversy. They had cool things like that. Don't even get me started on university course names. Oh my god, they were so fun. I loved going to university in Sims 2. I loved the sequence where your sim would first go to college and the parents would hug them, the guardian would hug them and be like, oh my god, my baby. But the course names were so good. There was a picture, I don't remember if it was on Twitter or Tumblr, but I'm gonna put the picture up here of different course names because they are so funny and they're so accurate. If you read some of them, like I think there's like a politics one. If you read it, it's just great. It's so funny. It's so like topical, beautiful. And Sims 2 just gave much more attention, I feel like, to each age span. Like, life state, is it called a life state in Sims? I think it's called a life state. I feel like they just gave much more attention. Like the zombies, that's not where I was going. I wanted to talk about the ages. I feel like there was given more attention to babies and to like toddlers, kids, teens. Sims 4 really has nothing for anybody until teens. And then teens to elder, I feel like there's more to it. With Nifty Knitting that came out, you know, elders kind of have like a cute little rocking chair thing. But until teens, even then, it's more of like personality and like what they can do, and it has nothing to do with like decor, which like fair enough, but also teenagers, like my room has so much random shit in it. And the clutter in Sims 4 is great until you used most of it in one room. And if you have 2 kids, like in my family, I have 3 children. You can decorate one room, you know, it works out, you can do it, and then you have 2 other kids to decorate for, and you don't want them to be carbon copies of each other. Sims 2, I feel like, was a lot easier to be able to decorate more than one room for more than one teenager with different personalities. I also loved in Sims 2 how, and this does happen in Sims 4, but I feel like Sims 2 did it better. Personally, I liked if I had more than one child in a family where I could move one out. I could move them both out and move one into this home, and I could control that family, do whatever. And this family stayed stagnant. It stayed completely still. I loved that because there was one family that had like 8 kids, and they all went off and like did their own thing, and they all had kids, and I liked that I could manage them and kind of keep them at the same level. I feel like in the Sims 4, Sims 3 was impossible because you had open world and you couldn't even move people out, because if you moved them out, you like had to go play them, which was bullshit. But the Sims 4, I feel like you can't kind of keep them on par. Like I have one family where, like the family I'm playing, I have twins, and they have cousins that canonically in game, like without cheats, their cousins are 14 days older than them. But even with cheats, it feels like they don't age up at all. So to like, because I want to age up my kids, I feel like the 14 days is not like working. So I have to keep aging up those kids without playing them, because story mode and story progression, even with MCC, unless I'm doing something wrong, it really doesn't do anything for them. Like the girls are not building, those cousins, the girls are not building skills. They are not like they are developing relationships. One of them is pregnant. Don't tell her parents. I don't think they know. But I feel like they're not doing anything. And in The Sims 2, I liked that you could have a fulfilling full family, because you could play this family, get them to a certain point, and then play this family, get them to a certain point, and then you could keep going, because it's not like this family would just randomly go off and like the kids' grades would get destroyed and all that. Like that, it was so dumb. It's so dumb to me in Sims 4 that if I play this family instead of this family, their grades are going to drop. They're going to be F students, which is not how that works. I just wanted to yell about The Sims 2 because I miss it a lot. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Sims 4 lately, and it's fine. I do enjoy it. It's a good game. It has good graphics, but it's very, very boring. It has no personality to it, especially with the way they did traits. Sims 3, top tier for trait and like sim development. But the thing about The Sims 2 is I feel like, yeah, you made a sim and you kind of customized how they looked, but Sims developed their own interests. If you had hobbies, they developed their own interests, and they kind of had different quirks, no matter how much you personalized them. So it really felt like you were getting to know someone and then kind of go off their life from that. Like Sims 3, I think was great for being able to customize a sim, make a sim, and then completely dictate what they do. Because it had a lot of freedom with traits and like more options with traits. It had so many lifetime wishes, so you could do so much. Like even if your Sims had the same 2 traits, you could pick like 3 different lifetime wishes and go any direction with them. Which is cool because that's the way you could completely like, it was very, very free with like storytelling in a sense. You could do whatever you wanted. Sims 2 was a little more, stagnant. You had to kind of, there were only like 5 lifetime wishes and like rewards and everything. But it felt like you were getting to know somebody, which I always really liked. I always really liked how no matter what, like I would make my sim self all the time, but I still felt like I was getting to know her because every version of her that I would make was different. And it was cool because it's in a sense, it's kind of like meeting different parts of yourself. It wasn't always exactly like, there was one that was like interested in mechanics. I did not, her and I were not, her and I are not the same. But it was just cool because I felt like it was new aspects of the game for every sim you played. You could have in your head that I want this family, you know, mom does this, dad does this, the two kids do this. But the kids are going to be like, actually, I don't want to. I want to be a gardener. And you're like, okay. And the dad's like, cool, I know that I'm a secret agent, but also I'm really interested in cooking. So, like, you get what I'm saying? In Sims 4, what, in the last, like, 3 packs, we've gotten maybe 2 traits and 1, like, lifetime wish. And the traits have just stayed the same. The lifetime wishes have stayed the same. And there's not much in the world to really do. I feel like The Sims 4 is really focused on, like, getting together with other Sims and, like, developing relationships. And it has nothing really to develop your Sim themselves. Because I feel like no matter how hard I'm trying to, like, branch out and do different things with different Sims, because in my head they're different people and they have different personalities, I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over, and each Sim is becoming a carbon copy of each other because there's no personality. In anything they do, in the animation, in the Sims themselves, in the, like, the story, you can make your own story. That's the part of this, that's, like, a big part of the Sims. You can make your own story, you can do your own thing, but it just feels like no matter how hard you try, it really just doesn't work. Like, Claire Siobhan, huge shout out to her for the way I made a whole video about Claire Siobhan too. Again, you can check out that card. She was able to do it, but I think it is the way that she does her gameplay and different mods that she has. Mods are very helpful. I just don't have a lot in my game because I don't have a lot of room in my computer and I really like hair and clothes. But she did a really good job of different storytelling and, like, different storylines, but that's her. That is 100% her. That is not the game. And that's the thing about The Sims 4 that bothers me, because again, in the words of Plumbella, I am a whore for lore. I'm just name dropping back in, like, one right after the other, aren't I? I name dropped 2 people, but I feel like I'm doing it a lot. And that's why The Sims 2 was so good, because The Sims 2 had, like, embedded lore. It had the Will Wright head in Strangetown and then the crashed UFO. And there's so much in Strangetown that kind of hints at what could have been the crashed UFO. It could have been politician. Is it politician? No, is it Population Technician 9? Is that what his name is? It's Pop Tech 9. I know that, but I don't remember the full name. It could have been him. It could have been the people that are the aliens that are involved with the Curious Brothers. It could have been, is his name Tank? Is that the dad's name of the Grunt family? It could have been the Grunt family and their, like, military involvement. It could have been what are their names? It's Cirque and Loki and Nervous Subject, that family. It could have been involved with them because it's like their house and then the crater's, like, here in Strangetown. It could be anything. And the whole Bella Goth disappearance, there's so many theories and everything about that, and I really need to read them because I've watched a couple videos about them, but I want to read them myself. The Bella Goth disappearance, and that is iconic. That is specifically from The Sims 2. Like, Sims 1, yeah, there was Bella and Mortimer, and they were very popular because it was very, like, Addams Family-esque, which I still love so much. They're one of my favorites. But in The Sims 4, I don't care about them. I tried to, like, give them a makeover and play them, and I got bored so quickly. But in The Sims 3, with Bella and Mortimer being kids, I loved playing with them. I'm just saying. I married Bella in Sims 3, and that whole family that I talk about where I had, like, 7 generations, Bella and I got married. Technically we were generation 1? Because it was my mom and me, and then I got married to Bella. Anyway, I might do a whole video about that as well. I kind of want to talk about that family because I have screenshots. If you guys want to see screenshots and the story of my Sims 3 family, please leave a like. I want to talk about that now. I might make that video. The whole Bella Goth thing is specifically iconic because of The Sims 2. If it wasn't for The Sims 2, the way the storytelling progression is, there would be no, like, Bella Goth. There would be no mystery. There would be nothing like that. So like, from The Sims 2, you're welcome. Because Bella Goth is iconic because of that. All right, I can like feel in my chest and my throat that I'm like getting hoarse because I'm yelling about The Sims 2. So I'm gonna cut this video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, please leave a like if you want to see screenshots and hear the story of my Sims 3 family, because I am like genuinely very attached to them. I get very sad about my Sims 3 family because I wasn't able to like save that game. But yeah, leave a like if you want to hear about them. I do really want to make a video about them. I might just pencil it into my planner either way, even if people don't care. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to stop talking about Sims now, so all of you that are getting a headache from listening to me will get a breather, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! I'm gonna have to edit so much.